Ladies, gentlemen, and you beautiful in-betweens, my name is Calmputer, and this is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It is a direct sequel to 2015's Ori and the Blind Forest, and I don't mind admitting that I had some initial concerns and worries, because the Blind Forest is, or was, it was my game of the year 2015, and I consider it a nearly perfect game. There were a few faults, and I'll get into those later, but it was an incredibly beautiful world and world building and sublime story, and characters were great, and the art was beautiful, and the music is just... I still had the soundtrack. Yeah, it was a nearly perfect game, and I was really worried that Moon Studios would not be able to capture lightning in a bottle again. Thankfully, all of those worries were completely unfounded, because not only is it just as good, that's not the way you want to phrase that, but not only is it as good, they've also fixed all of the faults the original had. Things like the combat, because you only really had one attack, and that was your little wisp friend that was always circling you, would attack things in your general area when you were commanded it to. And while you could upgrade it to do more damage and attack more foes at the same time, it wasn't really all that innovative and not exactly fun. Like you would just run and attack things as you were running, and there was no real strategy involved, honestly. Not only that, but the upgrade system was... how should I phrase this? Like, you generally get an ability tree. These were ability branches, because you had three. One was combat, one was like miscellaneous or magic, I think, and the third was exploration. And they each had something like 10 upgrades, and you had to get all 10 if you wanted the last one. And yeah, basically everyone's Ori was exactly the same by the end of the game, and yeah, it wasn't all that great, honestly, but the rest of the game just made up for it. Thankfully, in the Will of the Wisps, they fixed everything, all the problems the earlier game had. So now you can go with a sword if you want, or you could buy Spirit Smash with, if you want the more slower, methodical but meatier combat. Yeah, it's pretty great. Also, you were unlocked very early the ability to do range combat. And while I do have a problem with this using up magic, because, well, when you get it, you're kind of locked into an area where you need to use the bow and arrow to unlock certain artifacts, let's say, or buttons. And because it uses magic, they had to liberally put like magic crystals all over the place that respawn almost instantly, so that you wouldn't run dry and be unable to progress and also unable to return. So yeah, if they just made it the same kind of thing like the sword or the hammer, I think it would make more sense. Also, it would allow for more consistent ranged combat if you want to go with that route. And like, speaking of the upgrade system in the earlier game, right now here I have 3 upgrade slots, and I can put any 3 of these abilities I want in there. So I can upgrade the bow and arrow to split into 3. I'm gonna do that. I'm also going to go with not less damage. If I die, that's probably just simply hilarious. Stick and climb to walls, though. I want that. And let's see, magnet orbs float to Ori from half the screen away. I'm not really looking for money or orbs right now, so let's not go with that. Grapple 1 enemy per jump. Yeah, I'm probably going to show that later. Yeah, so it's a lot shorter range now, but it does 50% more damage if all 3 arrows hit the target, and it takes the same amount of magic. But yeah, I think it would be a little bit nicer if you could use this all the time, especially on those puzzles, because it kind of felt like a cop-out when the magic crystals all kept popping up again and again and again. Then again, well, if you could play ranged all the time, I guess it would make that kind of overpowered, possibly. And it is kind of overpowered when you fight bosses, because this one plus the one that unlocks here and this one makes the bow basically a bazooka. Or in boss fights, not this one so much, but these two together, yeah, you do a lot of damage. Also, if I'm using the mouse right here, oh no, well, I can just do this here. Just notice how this is filled in, but these two here aren't. That's because you can upgrade this, and next time grapple one enemy and deal damage at the same time. And if we look at this one, next level take 20% less damage, and I think it's 20, 25, and 30, so it's not overpowered, but it will give you a lot of leeway. And yeah, and let's talk about where we go to upgrade. Whoop. Not you. Not you. Oh. Almost not died, perhaps, but took a lot of damage there. This guy. We can upgrade pretty much all of our abilities here. And yeah, let's go with 4. Also, this guy sells new shards. So, for instance, we can gain an additional life cell, or 3 additional life cells if we upgrade this one twice. Same thing with energy cells, or mana, or whatever you want to call them. Deal bonus damage to flying enemies. That's actually really good, because flying enemies tend to be very annoying. But I'm looking at this one. Yeah, I'm gonna get that one. Swap maximum life and energy. This is interesting, actually, because if you have more mana or energy, let's use its proper term, I guess. If you have more energy than you have life, and you need life more than energy, just swap them with this one. Alternatively, if you want to be a mage, reduce energy cost by 50% and increase damage taken by 100%. Like, on the surface, it doesn't sound all that powerful, right? But it means you can cause double the amount of magic, essentially. And together with this one, where you gain more energy cells, yeah, you can have a mage build where you're basically a glass cannon running around. And enemies drop 2 extra spirit light orbs. Yeah, we should probably talk about spirit light, actually. You can see the orange little glowy thing up there with the 733. That's your legal tender here in this world now. In the original game, it was your XP, where after you gained a set amount of spirit light, you would get a level up and an ability point to spend in your 3 ability branches, or upgrade branches. Now it's used as a commodity, where you can buy things instead, which I prefer, actually. Thank you, yes, and thank you. Let's see, I did buy... We upgraded that, and we bought this. Yeah, it's something you gained... I almost lied there. Sorry. Yeah, in the original game, you didn't get triple jump as an ability exactly. It was an upgrade in one of the paths. I think the last upgrade in the exploration tree, I think, or branch. Yeah, now it's an upgrade. And I think that, yeah, it's pretty one-to-one, actually. Because in the earlier game, there was an achievement for not using any ability points to upgrade your character at all. So you were just, you know, level 1 Ori throughout the game. And in this game, there's an achievement for not using any of these spirit shards at all. And since triple jump is a spirit shard and it was an upgrade in the first one, it's kind of one-to-one, and I appreciate that. I think maybe wall stick was also an upgrade in the earlier game. I know that wall jump was a baseline ability. Also, I've been burying the lead. We have a hub world, or a hub world, yeah. Here, where we can talk to NPCs that are incredibly cute, and they gave us, or give us, quests to take. Do you think the Gorlick Grom will build a home for us? I think he might. You know what? I'm gonna go talk to him, but first I'm gonna go this way and talk to this little fellow as well. Oh, hello. I came here from the marsh because I heard the glades were beautiful. They are beautiful, yes they are, but the light here is so bright, not like the gloomy marsh. That's why I'm hiding in the shade. If I had a hat in yellow, like that funny gun one over there, but I do not. So we get a quest where probably at some point we'll find a hat that we can give to this little fellow. Notice this, however. It's glowing, and it's very reminiscent to a thing you could see in the Blind Forest. And in the Blind Forest you got a ground pound that you could break this with. I played through this game, I think 90% of this game, a few days ago, and I didn't find the ability to break this until, like I said, 90% in, where where I bought Spirit Smash, because I was fairly happy with just using Spirit Edge and Spirit Arc and a few of the other abilities you unlock during the course of the game. So I didn't really feel bothered to spend the money on this one when I could spend it on things like triple jump and, you know, wall climb and I think underwater breathing and stuff. But when I did buy this, I accidentally used it like this. Yeah, the game doesn't tell you that it does that at all, anywhere. Like, pound foes with strong sweeping blow, that's the only description. And yeah, you get a ground pound with it. Who knew? Certainly not me. But let's go pick up this thing here. Oh, I have triple jump now. That's gonna take some getting used to. So I have 9 Gorlick ore. I think that's pretty much enough to do what I want to do right now. Let's climb up though. And the platforming is just as sublime as the Blind Forest. In fact, yeah, it's a little bit better actually. There are 1 or 2 things that I'm a little bit, not annoyed at, but concerned with again, I think, but I'll get into that later, I think. Now let's talk to this little fellow, or big fellow actually. Just imagine the adventures that Moki will go on with an adventures pack. Yeah, I finished a quest where I gave an adventures pack to a Moki that I found. She seems to have a knack for it, judging by those herbs she gave you. Yeah, that's also a quest item I got. They don't just grow anywhere, you know? That's why spicy marsh clam soup is such a delicacy around here. Yeah, this guy gives you hints as to where you need to go next for some of the quests. But it takes a real chef to get it just right. Take it from me. I've burnt my tongue enough times to know. This guy follows you around without you noticing, of course, and keeps track of everything you do. For now, I've played for 6 hours on this playthrough here. I've completed 25%, and I've died 9 times. Things you haven't done yet will not unlock yet. For instance, I know this is drowning, and I haven't done that yet. And I probably never will, because I think I'm getting underwater breathing eventually. So, yeah, no drowning for me. So this will remain unlocked for the rest of the game, or remain locked rather, and that actually happened with these 2. I still don't know what unlocks these 2. In the main playthrough I did, I got 100%, but these 2 still just never showed what they were, and I'm a little bit worried. On the other hand, because if you get underwater breathing, before you die from drowning, this will also unlock. So maybe this is something to do with something that I can no longer do in the game. I don't know. Which is bothering me slightly, because I'm a completionist when it comes to games like this. But yeah, this guy follows you around all the time, and I find that kind of creepy, to be honest. Then again, he does slither, so I guess creeping makes sense. Now, let's go see about this guy's home. Talk to Grom, the Gorlick. Yeah, I fixed the mail. Yeah, we don't need to go into that because it's kind of spoilery, so I'll just go right there. This guy uses Gorlick ore to upgrade this hub area, and I have enough to get both of these. Dwelling repairs or thorny situation. Let's go with the thorns first, because they actually have the capacity to kill me. Thankfully, they're not one-hit kills. Some thorns in the original game is. On the other hand, if you can knock an enemy into thorns, they will die immediately, which I find very, very satisfying when I can do it. No more thorns. Yeah, that's very nice, actually. And let's get the dwellings as well while we're here. Ooh, sorry. Oh, right, yes, I need to actually press the button there. Yeah, he's a magician. Also, I don't know... Yes, the monkey homes are complete, and they won't be needing repairs anytime soon, now that they're Gorlick made. No, I can't actually do anything more now. The thing is, though, like, he used Gorlick ore to create these, but they're hatch... like, yeah, they're... like just sticks and leaves and bush. I don't really know how that works, but apparently it does. And a good hut makes for a good home. If you go east, you could tell my family I found a new home. They live in the Silent Woods, in the first hut near the entrance. I will pay for the help, and here you might need this key. The woods are not safe, not anymore. Yeah, so, I mean, we could go find his family, help him out. Eventually we will, and that's not where I wanted to go. I want to go here. Here we can see all of the quest items we have gathered, and all of the quests we have finished, and the wisps we have found. Also, the upgrades we've done to the hub area. And, oh yeah, I guess I could show that as well. I mean, I'm trying to not spoil things, but some things it's good to know before you start, so you know what to do, because this guy is a little out of the way. And, oof, I almost didn't make it here. You ever dream of home? Sometimes I wake up thinking I never left. Cozy little hut it was, shelves and cupboards just brimming with seeds for planting. I tried saving them all when the blizzard came. I hope I didn't leave any behind. And we do indeed have a seed. So let's plant it and see what happens. That's a very weird way of planting things, I suppose. Strange pull to them. Yeah, that's a very nice hint. No harm done, yeah. Let's see what those were, actually. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's this. It's an ability... Oh, you can stand on that? I didn't know that. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and it's a good way to run around, I suppose. We also have water, and yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself though. There are a few other things you probably need to know. For instance, in the earlier game, you could only warp from one of these. by pressing Y, and then you could select where you wanted to warp, right? In this game, you don't really need that. If we go to warp spots, I can just go like this. And warp straight there. And I'm not really sure whether I like that or not. Like the in-game or in-world reason for it is that since Ori is light, a light spirit, and these are light wells, and they are through, like, the light veins run throughout this area, that he can just basically make himself one with the light and go wherever he wants. Yeah, you die now. Oh, you didn't. Yeah, that's that one. I guess I do want... Let's see... Not that one. Let's go with... that one. Also, I have a bit of an annoyance with this. The way they're not like straight lines, or it looks good. The problem is when I press down here, I want to go down, but I can't. I have to go down there. And yeah, I guess they could fix that, or I hope they can fix that eventually in a patch or in a definitive version. This, I mean, I showed you the ground pound earlier, but this is, I think, the first moment I spotted this, and it's very early in the game. Like, you start essentially down here, and you can't, like, you have to get the ground pound in order to go down here, and you do need to, because this is something you really need to be aware of. So yeah, this is a combat shrine, and when I start this, I'll get locked into combat with 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 waves of enemies in ranging difficulty. So before that, I think I want to take less damage for one. I don't really need to stick to walls, and triple jump is good to have, I suppose. No, I want to do more damage to them through long-range means, I think. Yeah. Let the battle commence. Now, they can get to you a lot. Ooh, nice hit. If you... Where's the last one? What the hell is going on? Where's... Did you hide? That's interesting. I've never seen that happen before. Ooh, I don't want to be near you when you do that. You can leave if you want to, but I don't suggest it. Also, I kind of want to heal right now. There, die, good. Now I'm gonna heal. And yeah, these guys are really annoying. Oh, nice. Double hit. Really the only way to fight them is to invite them to hit the ground. Thing is, once they've... Or kind of get them to hit the wall, I guess. Come on. Let me kill you. And then we heal again. I'm gonna get away from you and... What the hell? Where did you come from? These guys are really fast and infuriating. There, one left. And they jump really far. There, finally! Done! 4! There were only... Actually, was there 5 waves? I forgot to count. Anyway, yes, we get this little thing here. Shard slot upgrade. That's why these are so important, because now I can slot in 4 things rather than just 3. And I think at the end, I have like 8 or 9 upgrade slots. So yeah, you really want to pay attention when you find one of these. I'm gonna go with that one, and I'm gonna go with not you, because I didn't really need you during that fight. They would have, it would have been very nice to have during the fight with the mosquitoes, I guess, but here we are. Just luring them into the walls did the trick. And we want to heal. Also, yeah, you get a heal ability that you can just slot into any button you want and use. That was one of my smaller problems with the Blind Forest. You really didn't have any way to heal yourself except to go to a save point or... Let's kill this guy as well. Yeah, that's a lot easier than I remember it being. Yeah, you did die, good. Yeah, you could go to one of these and press X to restore health and energy. And you could find, like, life crystals in the world that you could destroy to get health. And sometimes enemies would drop health when they died. But now you have an actual ability to heal yourself. It only restores 3 health globes, I guess you'd call them. Let's see, where else we need to go? See there, and collectibles, we don't really need to worry about those yet. Here, yeah, that's the icon for the combat shrines, or just shrines that they're called in the map. And I have one here, and I think there might be one around there somewhere that I forgot, or I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see. Now, I wonder if I can get there quickly enough. Now I would probably end up spoiling something on the way there. So let's go to this one instead. Because there's another kind of shrine that I think I want to show you. Yeah, let's see. I'm going the wrong way. Yes, I am. One thing I have a problem with is this. Like, it's such a small gap, and I think I've had this problem when trying to traverse during the many chase sequences that this game has. And yeah, the chase sequences are back from Ori and the Blind Forest. And they're not as long as in the Blind Forest, but they can be quite tedious and overwhelming when they occur. And there was one point where I had to put the controller down because my hands hurt, because yeah, it's yeah, about that actually. I saw another person playing it on Twitch, and they used a mouse, and it looked like the chase sequences were a lot easier if you use mouse and keyboard rather than a controller, because you can be more precise with your maneuvers or movements. So yeah, that's something to consider if you're having trouble during some of the chase sequences. Let's see, I want to go down, I think. Down and then up to this little thing here. Oh yeah, this is what I meant when I talked about magic. Crystals respawning all over the place and being very liberally strewn about. There was this one, and then we have one down here. And let's kill that before it kills us, or at least attacks us. Oh yeah, this guy, I think I need to talk about him a little bit more in detail before he kills me. Yeah, this guy was in Blind Forest as well, and you had to dispatch him the same way. And I had a lot of troubles with this one. Not this one in particular, but these guys in general. Because if I go here, and if I try to attack him, like, he swings around too fast to use the sword to attack him, and you can't damage him with the bow at all, really. Even if you hit him on his weak spot. And the way you dispatch him is the same as in the Blind Forest. Either you can do something like this. You can stun him by having him walk into a wall. Well, or not. Right. I don't want to make him do that again. Or, again, something I wish I would have known a lot sooner. That. Yeah, the game doesn't tell you about that either. And I think that's a massive oversight. Let's see. And pick those up. Right. This one you will see a lot over them. You'll see them a lot all over the map. It's a time trial, essentially. It is for you to run as quickly as possible from this place, and I think down here. In fact, if we try to run once, it'll show you where you need to go. Thankfully, all hazards, things like moving pillars or moving hatchets, yeah, they'll all be turned off, as well as enemies. And then you need to get there, and the reward is Spirit of Light, the money, so to speak. And that's the one you have to beat. You don't have to beat any other player, and that's actually a good thing. End race. I don't think I can do this one fast enough. The thing is, though, like, you get, because it's a time trial, and I think this was something they added to the definitive edition as well, there are leaderboards. There's actually leaderboards for the entire game. Also, for like beating it fast enough, or doing the no death challenge, or achievement, as it's also known as. Yeah, these leaderboards. The thing is, people are cheating. There's this one all the way over here to go from there to there. Like, you can't just run over there and like jump up here. You have to go straight through and then up here and then there. It took me 48 seconds, I think, to do it. And the number one person on the leaderboard did it in 16. Because he was cheating. One, he never took any damage when he was going down here and going through some of the hazards. And he jumped like 100 times to get up here. So yeah, cheating. I'm gonna call you out for that. And so don't worry about getting on those leaderboards. I think it's probably impossible at this point. Thank God there aren't any achievements locked to getting on the leaderboards, or getting high on the leaderboards anyway. So yeah, there's that. Other things, you get the normal ones, energy cell fragments. I think, have I picked up all of the life cell fragments that I can right now? Anyway, well, like I said, the blue lights, let's pick the mouse again. The blue lights here are the collectibles for the energy cells, and the green ones here are the collectibles for the life cells. So you see how many you have left, and you need 2 to get a life, or let's see, let's move away from there. You get one of those life orbs down there. Nope, that's not the one I want to. And So yeah, this, when it's finished, it's absolutely gorgeous. Also, and I did show this here, well, as you finish the game or complete portions of the game, this will fill out and become absolutely beautiful. And you get all of your abilities listed here as well. And it's just absolutely sublime. I love this art style. And just gorgeous. Yeah, and like the game as a whole, I haven't even talked about the massive, beautiful elephant in the room. This game is gorgeous. It's also a lot darker than the original game. Like, I've really only showed you the Wellspring Glades, the hub area, and this portion here, which is very dark, but it gets pretty dark later on as well. And yeah, I should probably mention this actually, now that I think about it. If you're an arachnophobe, like you're deathly afraid of spiders, there is a section of the game where you run around in a place infested with spiders and cockroaches and every kind of slithering life form that there is, essentially. And like, I don't have arachnophobia, but it really squicked me as well. Not to the point where I became catatonic, but I really didn't like that area. And it doesn't make it better that if you're in the dark, like there's light and dark that they play with, and if you're in the darkness, your light diminishes in a couple of seconds and then you just die because you get eaten by something and you don't know what, and you just hear it. And it's kind of horrifying, actually. So you have to play around with getting light all over the place. And then you meet the queen spider, I guess you would call it. Thankfully, they do have, I guess you could call it aftercare, because the story about that becomes just incredibly beautiful. Like, they give you, in most games, actually, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit and just say that in most games, using spiders is something of a cop-out. And I'm going to leave this place because it's kind of depressing. Let's go... yeah, here. And yeah, in most games, other games, horror games and action games in general, whenever they add spiders to the game, it feels like they just sat in a conference room, all of the developers, and said, we need something scary here. Something to scare the players and make their heart beat a little bit faster. And someone reaches up their hand and raises their hand and just says, well, spiders are scary, let's add spiders. And it's like, sold, add as many as you can. And it feels like a cop-out in most games. Here it feels earned, because once I'd defeated this queen spider, the story you get afterwards is incredibly beautiful. Sad, but beautiful. It's the kind of sadness where you go, this was beautiful in its own way. And that's basically this entire game. I don't mind admitting that I've cried at several points during this game, during the story, and it's just... it felt good when I did. It felt like it was a beautiful moment. I don't generally cry at sadness or unhappiness or anger or anything like that, but if I see something absolutely beautiful, yeah, tears come out. That's my problem, my curse, and my blessing, I guess. He said while he was murdering something that was probably innocent. Anyway, yes, and the enemies are also really beautiful. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be my game of the year. On the other hand, we're still only at March so far. So, I mean, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that some game comes out and trumps this. I mean, Doom Eternal is coming out in a week and a half, I think. So, I mean, there's that. Let's say it like this. If this doesn't end up on my top 10 games of the year list in December, I'll eat broccoli. And that's, yeah, I don't like broccoli, so yeah. On the other hand, it's a good thing if some other game comes out, because that means currently on the horizon there's a game that is better than this, and I just don't see that as a possibility right now, because this game is perfect. It's a perfect Metroidvania, it has the perfect combat, it has a perfect story, and perfect art and music, and just... Whoa! Where did you come from? Thank you. And I haven't found a single flaw in the game, I don't think. I have only actually found 2 bugs, also. One where I got caught or stuck on a piece of scenery and it morphed and deformed with me. And once the game froze. But then again, I'd been playing the game for like 12 hours straight, so it's no wonder that it froze. I would probably have done the same thing. Actually, I did, because during one of the chase sequences, I had to literally put the controller down because my hands hurt. So, yeah, there's that. I broke too. And yeah, like faults. Other than this being like locked under, like you have to spend money to buy this, and the game doesn't tell you it has the stomp feature. That's one count against it. And you can get stuck on scenery like this, and yeah, I'm moving up right now and it doesn't care. Whereas if I went here and go up, it would just climb right over, but here it doesn't. They need to fix that, I guess. I'm also not entirely convinced with warp from anywhere. On the other hand, when you need to get somewhere quick, it feels very nice, whereas in the first game, you had to sometimes traverse like 20 minutes of terrain to get to a warp point. Yeah. The chase sequences are not as tedious or overwhelmingly quick and deadly as they were in the original game. That's a lie, they are just as deadly actually. But they don't feel impossible to do without dying this time around, whereas they kind of did in the earlier game. And yeah, I think... well, that's an interesting way of jumping. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said everything I can or want to. It's a beautiful game, just from start to finish, and it has Pixar level of storytelling, which should tell you a lot, actually. And yeah, I look forward to seeing this on my top 10 list later this year. And with that, ladies, gentlemen, and you beautiful in-betweens, I've been Calmputer, and this has been Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Please do check it out, it's very worth it, and I'll see you next time.